Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences and the inauguration of our next president in the university's next building. At this time, we ask that you silence all cell phones and please stand for the processional.
Good afternoon. I'll ask everybody to go ahead and be seated, please. Welcome. It's my honor and distinct privilege to welcome students, faculty, staff, alumni, academic delegates, and honored guests to the Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences for the installation of our sixth president, Dr. Michael J. Lawler. My name is Dr. Heather Phipps. I am an orthopedic surgeon in the Tri-Cities. I serve as the chair of the Board of Trustees, and I have been a member of the board since 2012. At this time, I would like to introduce those on the platform with me today who will stand as I call their name. Please hold your applause until I have finished. The Executive Director of the Union Gospel Mission, Michael Johnson. One of my fellow trustees, and here today representing the Tribal Council for the Yakima Nation, Davies Yellowash Washines. Representing our university accrediting body, Sunny Ramaswamy, Chair of the Northwest Commission of Colleges and Universities. Student Government Association President Ryan Erdwins, class of 2021. The Chair of the Faculty Council, Dr. Emily A. Strike. President of our 628 alumni from the College of Osteopathic Medicine, Major Keith Peterson, a family medicine doctor who is practicing at the Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington State. A colleague and good friend of Dr. Lawler's, Dr. Gail Goodman, Distinguished Professor of Psychology and Director of the Center for Public Policy Research from the University of California, Davis. And our President, Dr. Michael Lawler, who joins PNWU most recently from the University of South Dakota. Michael Johnson and Davis Washines will now provide an opening prayer and blessing for today's ceremony. Immediately following that, the East Valley Middle School Choir, under the direction of Ann Carlson, will sing a selection chosen by Dr. Lawler for today's event, What a Wonderful World.
As you are comfortable, would you join me in prayer? God, your servant Paul said that some things could be seen by observing the world in its nature, and in so doing we could see certain things about you, your character could be deduced. And we see that you love the incredible diversity of individual identity, for we bear in every cell a code unique to ourselves. And we also see that this very code itself bears the epigenetics of those who gave us life, that we are not merely ourselves, but that we are of one another. And we see that we are our worst selves when we are only for ourselves, and that we are our fullest selves when we are for one another. And we understand that this way in which we are made reveals something of your character, and it is a fingerprint of yours imprinted in our formation. So God, I am so greatly humbled to lift in prayer to you this institution, its students, and its newest president. May they all live fully into this truth of yours in our making, that we have individual gifts and talents from you, which we labor to develop for the well-being of others. May this fingerprint of your character reside in the ethos of this school and in Dr. Lawler personally, so that many long years from now, when the completion of this season arrives, everyone would be able to say that this school was led by a person whose personal character somehow also managed to display your character as well. Amen.
My elders would remind me to remind everyone that as we use this song, a blessing song, not to do any recording. And as you heard the prayer, this song is going to take all of our feelings, our thoughts, our prayers up to the Creator, as we're all going to be one here this afternoon and this day that we've been waiting for. So just want to let you know that these prayers are, no matter what faith you belong to, no matter what church denomination, that today we're all with one heart and with one mind here, and to witness a big event, not only for our brother, but also for this school. So, thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you again to the East Valley Middle School Choir for that wonderful song. At this time, I would like to recognize our distinguished guest as listed in today's program attending this afternoon. I ask that you please stand as I introduce you and then remain standing. I'll have everyone hold their applause until the end of the introductions. Our academic delegates. Stand, please stand. Thank you. Dr. Lawler's family, his wife Kimberly and son Sebastian. Representatives of the PNWU Board of Trustees. Our emeritus or former members of the board who continue to support and engage with the university. Okay. Our alumni who are now either out in residency or fellowship training or are out in the communities of the Northwest carrying out our mission. So our alumni. Yes. Current students of PNWU and its College of Osteopathic Medicine. I know we've got a couple. There we go. All right. And members of the faculty and staff who collectively work every day to ensure our students' success. Okay. All right. Thank you. It's truly an honor to have everyone here today. Today represents an exciting moment in the history of PNWU as we formally install Dr. Michael Lawler as our president. Dr. Lawler officially joined PNWU on October 8th, 2018. It is fitting that we hold this ceremony in what we have termed the next building. We are proud of our past, and we look forward to an even brighter future under Dr. Lawler's leadership. Later in this ceremony, Dr. Lawler will share his vision for PNWU's future. At this time, members of the platform party will bring welcome messages for Dr. Lawler on behalf of the institutions that they represent. We will begin with a video greeting from Governor Jay Inslee, after which time Dr. Gail Goodman will speak, representing the academic institutions.
I'm Jay Inslee, Governor of the beautiful state of Washington and tremendous admirer of the Yakima Valley, along with my whole family. You know, our state is blessed with innovators and visionaries who work to make Washington a better place for all of us. And we know the Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences was started to meet the medical needs of the underserved, turning this vision into reality by training and graduating doctors of osteopathic medicine. It's a community I really admire. I was on the board of the osteopathic hospital in the Yakima Valley. I know the good work this profession does. And I know the university's work is critical to training a first-class workforce of primary care doctors in our state. So today, it's a joy to welcome Dr. Michael Lawler as incoming president of PNWU. Congratulations on your appointment and thank you for joining this prestigious community. I'm confident under your leadership, PNW will continue to grow and prosper and be yet another great successful story in the Valley. And I'm delighted to see you join a university that's dedicated to innovation. There's always more to do and always another mountain to climb. So we stand with you and support you as you make success a reality. Go forth, good luck to you. I know you're going to do great things.
This is usually the way I start a talk. So my name is Dr. Gail Goodman, and I'm a psychology professor at the University of California at Davis. So first I want to thank everyone for the invitation to speak today, especially Dr. Lawler, and for this wonderful event in his honor, for getting to see your impressive campus here and seeing beautiful Yakima. So when I was leaving, I actually spent the night at my niece's house in Seattle. And when I was leaving there, her parting words to me were, "Just let the love show," which I thought was really lovely. So I hope that will come across today, the love that you will have for Dr. Lawler as the new president here, and the love that you clearly have and will continue to have of giving service to society and to the community. So my first two messages really are very simple. The first is how lucky you are to have Dr. Lawler as your president, and the second is how fortunate you are to engage in higher education that will gear you to benefit those who are underserved in our communities. So first, let me explain how I know Dr. Lawler. Mike earned his Master's of Social Work degree at the University of California, Berkeley. Then he and I both arrived at what we call UC Davis, University of California, Davis, soon thereafter in 1992. He quickly, though, became director of the Center for Human Services there. It still took over a decade for us to work together directly, and that was when we were approached by the California Department of Social Services, which is one of the state institutions, part of the state government in California, to start a center that would bring science to policy, especially on behalf of children and families in California. As we started to work together, it quickly became clear and very apparent that Dr. Lawler was wise beyond his years, a brilliant colleague, and someone with a vision of how to make the world a better place. He was also totally devoted to the greater good of helping others, including supporting all who worked with him, not only at the centers that he ran, but also at California counties and even the state government, who actually looked to him for advice at times in their mission. So let me just show you a picture, if I can, of us back in the day, in case, in case you can't spot him. He's the one under the arrow. This is out by the pool in my house, which we didn't usually work there, actually. But in the summers, it's tempting in Davis. But that was just one of many groups that Mike was helping to support. This was our Center for Public Policy Research that was supported by the California Department of Social Services. So these traits of service to others are ones that I greatly admire, and also ones that will make Dr. Lawler a great president for you all here. Towards the end of the time that we worked together, Dr. Lawler received the UC Davis Distinguished Achievement Award. I think this is from that award, how he looked then, and he still looks very similar. Same to me. So at the award, our chancellor said that Mike's skill as an especially supportive and talented administrator were legend at the time. And I thought that was so perfect and so beautifully stated that he still is legend there for his great skill. In fact, he was so outstanding that once he obtained his doctoral degree, he was quickly hired away from us by the University of South Dakota into a position as full professor with tenure. So that is virtually unheard of. I've never heard of anybody going from getting their PhD directly to the highest levels of the professorate. So that was pretty amazing. And then he topped that with, after only a year, becoming their dean there in South Dakota. So as far as I know, only Mike could achieve that kind of accomplishment. So when you offered him a job here, how smart you were. Really, I hope that each and every one of you will get to work, have the opportunity to work with Dr. Lawler. I know I cherish those years of working with him, and I'm sure you will too. There's simply no one better for this job and the challenges that it will bring. So second, quickly to get to my second point, I want to congratulate all of you on your mission to gain and support higher education so that you can better serve others. They say the key to fulfillment in all too short the time we have on earth, really, is to have a meaningful life. So higher education gives us the skills and the ability to serve others in a very meaningful way. For many of us, happiness truly lies in the joy of achievement, in the thrill of creative effort, and in the importance of helping others. No matter what your gender, your race, your ethnicity, your sexual orientation, the country you come from, your religion or your lack of religion, you can make a very positive difference in the world. And I hope you all will join me in trying to do that, and certainly will help Dr. Lawler in his goal of doing that. So my final words are the words that I say, and I say these especially to the students here, but to all of you, the same I say at the end of virtually all my classes at UC Davis. Please take what you have learned and are learning and use it to go out and do good. So my congratulations to you all, to Dr. Lawler and his family for this joyous occasion and the honor of being here. Thank you.
Thank you to each one of you for your remarks today. The traditions surrounding academic ceremonies, such as inaugurations and commencements, are rooted in the customs of the Middle Ages when universities were first formed. Gowns and mortarboards, for example, were a common form of dress during that era. Today, our graduates wear colorful academic apparel, signifying their alma maters and their highest degree received. The academic garb and other similar symbols in evidence at today's ceremony reflect the continuity and the strength of higher education in our culture. 4 particular symbols important to PNWU are its seal, its mission, its mace, and its chain of office. Leading off, Alumni President Dr. Keith Peterson.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Peterson. I'm the Alumni President. I was part of the class of 2012. One of our founders, Dr. Lloyd Butler, along with PNW's first president, Dr. Gregory Mick, designed our official university seal on an airplane ride back from Alaska. The design included a mountain representing Mount Rainier and Mount Adams, both easily seen from campus on a clear day. A river flows out of the mountains on a seal representing the fertile valleys of eastern Washington. The official university seal lends authenticity to the documents that emanate from the university. It's primarily on diplomas, official transcripts, and certification on board trustee actions. It is also used on President's chain office, the university mace, commencement programs, and PNW challenge coins issued to the military graduates during their promotion ceremonies prior to commencement. The tradition of military coins is one that is very important. Military coins date back to very early on in American history, dating back actually to the Revolutionary War, when U.S. currency didn't mean a lot, and we didn't actually have much to pay soldiers. And so officers handed coins to enlisted officers. So it was one of pride and one that was given for great achievement and authenticity, and it carried on from unit to unit. And it's one now that's specialized, and each unit and each department and each command structure makes specialized coin, and PNWU actually created their own specialized military coin. And we'd like to carry on that tradition and give that coin to Dr. Lawler today. So as the alumni president and a U.S. officer myself of the U.S. Army, it's my great honor to give that coin to you, sir. The coin is always given in a handshake with the emblem facing up. So in that honor, I'd like to give that to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Peterson. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Sir.
Hello, I'm Ryan Edwins, President of the Student Government Association at PNWU College of Osteopathic Medicine. The mission of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences is to educate and train healthcare professionals emphasizing service among rural and medically underserved communities throughout the Northwest. Our vision as a university is to continually improve the availability and quality of healthcare for those we serve. Dr. Lawler, we applaud you for your chosen theme of service for this inauguration. PNWU instills the importance of service to each of its students, both service to our future patients and communities where we will soon practice, as well as service to each other. I'm honored at this time to present you with a plaque that includes the words of former President George H.W. Bush, "There could be no definition of a successful life that does not include service to others."
Good afternoon. I am Emily Astrike, Chair of the Faculty Council. The ceremonial mace, a symbol of university scholarship and integrity dating back centuries, is used to lead the academic procession at commencement and other special ceremonial occasions, signifying the importance of the event and the confirmation of the academic process. The PNWU mace was commissioned by former university president, Dr. Lloyd Butler, and carved by a local artisan, Ralph Richards. The mace of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences, which bears the official university seal, was carried in the inaugural commencement ceremony in 2012 and resides in the office of the president between ceremonies. 1, 2, 4. As chair of the faculty for PNWU, I am honored to present the university's mace to you during this ceremony.
Dr. Lawler, I'm going to have you come stand with me. So so the chains of the office are worn by the university's president on ceremonial occasions as part of his or her official inauguration regalia. The chains are custom made and cast in the shape of school symbols. The links included on the chain depict the names of previous PNWU presidents. The PNWU Presidential Medallion, which anchors the chain of office, depicts the official seal of PNWU. The chain of office was donated by former PNWU President Dr. Keith Watson and his wife, Dr. Maureen Watson. The presidential chain of office is reserved for wear as part of the president's academic regalia and is just one component of an inauguration ceremony steeped in history. On behalf of the PNWU Board of Trustees, I hereby place this chain as we formally install you as the 6th President of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences. don't think you get to sit down yet. Now it's your turn.
Good afternoon, and thank you. Governor Inslee, Dr. Phipps, Dr. Astrike, Reverend Johnson, Chair Washines, Yellowwashte, Mr. Erdwins, Student Dr. Erdwins, Dr. Peterson, Major Peterson, Dr. Goodman, Board of Trustees, colleagues, students, alumni, friends, and family. I am deeply honored and privileged by this opportunity to serve as president of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences. I stand here because my life has been full of people who believed in me and encouraged me. I know and have always known love and grace. I thank my wife Kimberly for her unyielding love and support, and our son Sebastian, from whom I've learned lessons that make me a better person. My parents never had the same opportunities I did. They were really smart, worked hard, but they were great supporters of my learning and my curiosity. All of my family members had faith in me, and I am eternally grateful for that faith. As you can see, this good fortune extended to my career, as I've had extraordinary colleagues and mentors and I've worked with a wide range of students. I'm so pleased to have some of my mentors here today. One of them actually is a surprise. I saw him as I walked in. But first of all, Dr. Gail Goodman, who you've met from the University of California, Davis, a tremendous mentor and friend, one who is very interested in making changes in the world, and it's just a blessing to be associated with you. The other is my colleague, Dr. Jerry Urtrenka from the University of South Dakota. Jerry's retiring next month, which is good for Jerry and his family, not good for the University of South Dakota. And the big surprise is my colleague, Larry Lobray, and his lovely wife, Deborah. If you can wave your hand, Larry. I invited Larry. He never RSVP'd to me. I saw him when I was walking through. Yeah, thank you, Larry. It means a lot to me, so thank you. So I had the real pleasure, spent the last 24 years prior to coming to Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences in October of 2018. I spent 24 years at UC Davis and the University of South Dakota. I'd never planned to be in higher education, but it drew me in, called me to service, which is why I'm here today. 14 years ago, a number of community leaders in Yakima, Washington, many of you here in the room today, they got together in the living room of Dr. Lloyd and Gloria Butler to form a nonprofit university in Yakima to be called Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences, PNWU. These visionary founders of PNWU had a dream. In order to fix the shortage of physicians and healthcare providers in rural and medically underserved communities of the Pacific Northwest, they would build a medical school in a vacant field in the Terrace Heights neighborhood of Yakima, Washington. That sounds like a good idea. Their dream was outrageous, and many thought it was impossible. There are many people who've told me recently they didn't know what they were doing. In fact, the vision was so wild and so distinctive that other dreamers in the region started donating to the cause. And more idealists from across the country flocked to Yakima to be part of this fantastic dream. So, with enthusiasm, they joined PNWU as students, faculty, and staff. Hospitals in Washington, Alaska, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana signed on as clinical sites for our students' education. And these health systems and facilities were wonderstruck by the audacity of this budding medical school called PNWU. Of course, they were all eager to be part of its unwavering optimism and our deep commitment to a greater good. So PNWU's first class of osteopathic medical students was enrolled in 2008. Just in time for the Great Recession and an international economic downturn. But again, the amazing romantics of Yakima and PNWU persevered, contributing time, expertise, and resources to sustain the heroic ideal of PNWU, the ideal that all individuals and communities deserve health and well-being, regardless of geography, background, or circumstance. So strengthened by the dramatic test of the Great Recession and bolstered by the faith of its community, PNW's dream has started to become a reality under outstanding leadership of the founders, board members, administration, faculty, staff, students, supporters of PNWU, all of you in the room today, including those leaders on the stage. I give special gratitude to our previous presidents, President Emeritus Dr. Keith Watson, thank you, sir, for your leadership. Dr. Lloyd Butler, thank you, sir. Dr. Robert Sutton, thank you, sir. And to our Board of Trustees Chair, Dr. Heather Phipps, and all current and emeriti board members. Today is a very special day for our university. Not only are we doing an inaugural ceremony, but we have the high privilege of all 6 chairs of the Board of Trustees in the history of PNWU being on campus today. Dr. Lloyd Butler, and if you could please stand, Dr. Lloyd Butler, Ms. Karen Hyatt, Dr. Richard Spiegel, Dr. Michael Maples, Dr. Larry Larson, and of course, our current chair, Dr. Heather Phipps. I say to all of you, I honor your faith and I honor your vision, which has brought this idealist to this great community. So today, on the eve of a decade and a half of intensely productive history, the future of PNWU is bright. We are poised to fully realize the vision of our founders and be a university that sets the national standard of health sciences education for service to rural and medically underserved communities. We are fulfilling our mission with our graduates returning to practice in the Northwest and in rural and medically underserved areas. And I've shared this with some of you. One of my grand pleasures of this position has been trips to clinical sites in our 5-state region where I've observed PNWU graduates with just a few years' experiences as practicing physicians in leadership roles, including mentoring our current PNWU students in rural and medically underserved communities of the Pacific Northwest. In fact, recent news, our new Assistant Regional Dean in Fairbanks, Alaska is Dr. Ann Handley from PNWU's class of 2012. That seems pretty good. Health systems ask me, when will we get more PNWU students? Where are they? How quickly can you get them to us? What's happening? My response is generally soon, as we're just getting started. We've only been doing this for 14 years. Not surprisingly, our students are aligned with our mission, and they're also dreamers. Somehow they see the possibility in this young, nonprofit university to shape health and healing in rural and medically underserved communities. They understand that preventing illness and promoting health, as well as healing the sick, are critical to the well-being of individuals and communities. Clearly, they are drawn to the holistic principles of osteopathic medicine to address mind, body, and spirit. Most critically for me, these students have a firm understanding of the social contract of professional medical education. They understand that in exchange for their education and qualifications, much is expected of them within and outside their practice. Our students and alumni will continually profess the values of a healer, and extend the light of idealism to the communities they serve. I love talking with our students, and I have great confidence in them. I'm inspired by their phenomenal service to community. I don't know where they find the time, seriously. This past year, our students recorded 1,500 hours of service involving every state in the Pacific Northwest and 2 other countries. Recently, they've raised funds to buy a lift for individuals with disabilities, to ride horses at the Pegasus Project, and along with our faculty and staff, contributed over 600 hours of additional service to the community over the past few days, given our week of service leading up to the ceremony. Just remarkable. Additionally, a team of faculty, staff, and students developed new resources with support from the Yakima Valley Community Foundation. If they're here, thank you. And Bale Breaker Brewing Company, if you're here, thank you. To assure the medical clinic at the Yakima Union Gospel Mission, the largest free clinic in the state of Washington, will remain open for the foreseeable future. And as Reverend Johnson has pointed out, it's a wonderful partnership, and we appreciate the opportunity, sir. Thank you. In the Union Gospel Mission Clinic, where some of the most vulnerable people in our community receive services, our distinguished faculty model the compassionate care we expect from our students. They're there working side by side with them. And let me just say, the faculty and staff of PNWU are also dreamers, as well as accomplished physicians, scientists, and professionals who animate our mission daily, hourly, in the moment. Faculty and staff, I'm deeply honored to be your colleague. So the future of healthcare is team-based, it's integrated, it's interprofessional. PNWU will lead this approach in rural and medically underserved communities. Our Doctor of Physical Therapy and Doctor of Occupational Therapy programs, as well as other programs under consideration such as behavioral health and dentistry, will be actively engaged in education and research here in the Project Next building where we're sitting, which will soon be finished with a flexible interior wall and office system that can adjust for new curriculum and new programs. Just to be clear, they were still putting carpet in here yesterday, so just much work. Our partnerships with Heritage University, thank you, Dr. Sun, for being here, great partner, Washington State University, Central Washington University, and Yakima Valley College, and their physician assistant, Master of Arts in Medical Science, Doctor of Pharmacy and Nursing program curricula delivered on the PNWU campus continue to be critical components as we develop interprofessional healthcare teams that learn and work together in addressing the needs of rural and medically underserved communities. As part of this work, PNWU is hosting an internationally relevant opioid and trauma-informed summit in June on this campus, which is led by our PNWU-based Yakima Valley Interprofessional Practice and Education Collaborative. So please join us for that. So with Project Next nearing completion, and theoretically because we're using these flexible walls and office system, it will never be complete. We'll always be shifting it around, but completion of the most of the building. We'll turn our attention to a new building. All of you turn around and look out that back window. It's going to be out there somewhere. So there's a brand new parking lot over here. Those of you who parked there, that's the first time anybody's parked there. That was just being finished yesterday as well. So we had a hard deadline. So we turn our attention to the Innovative Healthcare Learning Center, what we call the IHCLC, or the Next building. And that building will provide much needed space for additional interprofessional learning, enhanced simulation. Simulation is very important in modern healthcare education. Telehealth, very important. Research laboratories, student wellness, and faculty and staff, a healthy eatery. This building will enable us to bring the various disciplines together on campus to forge a new healthcare for rural and medically underserved communities. So these projects are made possible by the generosity of a variety of individuals, organizations, and communities that support PNWU. Over the past year, we've raised nearly $7 million in contributions for these important projects that will help elevate us to the full university envisioned by the founders. And I sincerely thank all of our generous donors, most of them are sitting in this room with us today, for believing in our mission and our dreams. Thank you. So to fully address the needs of the communities we serve, our students, faculty, and staff should increasingly reflect the diverse individuals from our communities as we intentionally invite all people to join our vision and be included in this important work. We will build from our culturally congruent Roots to Wings program, which inspires young students in the community to consider careers in science and medicine through co-mentoring with our PNWU students. The program is artfully directed by Dr. Mirna Ramos-Diaz and supported by the Yakama Nation, thank you, sir, and the National Institutes of Health. In fact, I invite all of you to attend the final session of Roots to Wings, which starts at 5 o'clock on our little outdoor basketball court over here. There'll be food, so after the reception, if you need some more food, and you want to hear some great prayers and ceremony and observe students from age 12 to 40 in a group with their white coat, and you can't really distinguish who's who. It's a beautiful event and a wonderful program, and I'm very, very proud of it. So please join us tonight. It starts at 5. Colleagues, friends, PNWU is a dream that came true. It's real. The aspirations of our founders seeded a deep commitment to mission that is bearing fruit today. We move forward together, always together, toward growth and impact. We'll build from the strengths of our College of Osteopathic Medicine, add new learners and healthcare providers aimed at ensuring health and well-being for those we serve. We seek transformation of communities through our work, through our humanity, and through our optimism, extending the profound, guiding dream of our founders to serve rural and medically underserved areas of the Pacific Northwest. So, in conclusion, it is my sincere honor and privilege to serve as president of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences, and I thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Lawler. So for those of you who have spent any time around Dr. Lawler, and particularly if you're a parent who spent time with Dr. Lawler, you've probably witnessed his passion for the health and well-being of children. After over 35 years in health and human services, and as a former practitioner in mental health and child welfare services, Dr. Lawler has allowed that his passion to shape not only his career, but his life. In fact, having witnessed the impact that childhood experiences are capable of having, both positive and negative, Dr. Lawler was recently elected as the chair of the American Psychological Association's Committee on Children, Youth, and Families. While adverse childhood experiences can have long-standing negative consequences, positive experiences seem equally capable of inspiring children to lead happy, healthy, successful, and well-rounded lives. Thankfully, many of those positive experiences can come from simple things. One of the most simple of all is reading to kids. There are countless studies to support the power of reading to children from an early age, from the landmark report, Becoming a Nation of Readers, which concluded that the single most important activity for building knowledge for eventual success in reading is reading aloud to children, and studies showing that reading helps to strengthen children's social, emotional, and character development, and is also linked to decreased levels of aggression, hyperactivity, and attention difficulties. So it is clear that simply taking the time to read to children can make a world of difference and can make a difference in the world. To honor Dr. Lawler's ongoing to the health and well-being of children, I am honored to present you all with a very special surprise. A creation of our marketing and communication team, I Want to Be a Doctor. Do we have our? I Want to Be a Doctor, a day at medical school, aims to introduce a new generation of lifelong learners to PNWU, encourage all of us to spend time reading with the young people in our lives, and it strives to encourage those young people to follow their dreams. So I would like to take a moment to recognize this book's creators, who, under the direction of our Inauguration Committee, created this original book for today's celebration, offering a young audience an approachable, entertaining, and visually stimulating glimpse into how they too can become doctors. So author is Paul Bubleski. Our illustrators are Cassidy Brown and Adam Durr, and layout and typography director Candy Cabarello. And if we have any of those in the audience, would they please stand? Today, each of our guests will receive a copy of the book created to educate and inspire children through the mission of PNWU. So please join me again in applause as we invite Dr. Lawler to join me so we can present him with the first book. As we conclude our ceremony, the platform party and those in the processional will recess downstairs for a reception. And as soon as they have exited, please join us downstairs by exiting out the south door. I will have you all stand.